Hello there, folks. So, AVGN is now 20 years old. Damn. so, the channel Cinemassacre is far more successful than my channel will ever be, and obviously higher quality and everything, but I'm okay with that. I just do this as a hobby, but part of the reason I wanted to make this short video is because, well, I've been a big fan of AVGN for over 10 years, and it's part of the reason I got into retro game collecting and whatnot. And what's crazy to think about is because the whole shtick of AVGN was like reviewing retro games and consoles and stuff. It started with just NES, then it started doing Atari, Genesis, Super Nintendo, etc. And it's funny, like, it was during the tail end of the 6th-gen consoles, PS2, GameCube, and original Xbox. And now here we are 20 years later. Some people consider those consoles to be retro. And sure, maybe he's not as active as he used to be, but he is a family man. And one of the many things that I give him a lot of credit for, because I feel like this is something nobody really touches on, is that he's always stuck to his guns. In other words, he's never drastically changed his content. Like, sure, he occasionally plugs his band on there, and there was a podcast at one point, but the channel's main focus has always been about gaming and pop culture. He still does the AVGN, he'll do the occasional movie review, sometimes we'll have Let's Plays on there and stuff. But it's like, let me put it this way. Let's say there was a guy who had a YouTube channel that talked about card games, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, etc. And he has a little over 200,000 subscribers. His videos get roughly around 30,000 views. Some of them have gotten close to 1 million. After so many years, the views kind of start to decline. And so then he starts making videos about politics and current events, and it's like, maybe it brings his views up a little bit more, but then it's like the people who have remained loyal to his channel, it's like, what is this? Like, subscribe to your channel to hear you talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Or maybe there's people who hadn't watched him in a while, and they come back and like, I haven't watched What's-His-Face in a while, let's see what he's up to. They come to the channel, it's all this political mumbo-jumbo, and they're like, what the hell is this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, see, James has never done anything like that. And as for the whole AVGN thing, probably the biggest question is it still entertaining? Well, it's all a matter of perspective. See, like, I think of it kind of like The Simpsons, a show that's been running for almost 40 years. And, there's people who probably only like the first 5 to 10 seasons, and then there's people who love the entire series. And I feel like it's kind of the same with AVGN. See, there's people who probably only like maybe the first 100 episodes or so. Some people love all 200 plus episodes. For me personally, I think the best was before the AVGN movie, but that doesn't mean the episodes that came afterward and are still coming out are bad. There's plenty of good ones there. My favorite pre-movie episodes would have to be Nintendo Power, Battletoads, Virtual Boy, Toxic Crusaders, Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle, Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, and Godzilla, just to name a few. Some of my favorite post-movie episodes would have to be Paperboy, Tomb Raider, Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin, Per Pals, and Contra How I Remember It, which the ending to that episode is just, like, that one just really hits close to home. Like, all this, when he talks about, like playing with G.I. Joes, like, you're playing Contra, which I did do as a kid. To this day, it boggles my mind that it's like, we had, back in the day, there was Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat G.I. Joes. Why not Contra? That's perfect. Or when he says that, like, maybe you had a friend or a relative that, a grandparent or something that used to watch you play games like Contra, and they passed away, and now they're still watching you and it's just like, oh, man. But, so, the question is, like, what's the future for AVGN? Well, only time will tell, because, like I said, it's been 20 years, and he's still going, because, I mean, there's so many other YouTubers who've retired from the platform, and you can't blame them, really, but, he keeps chugging along. So, what do you guys think of the 20th anniversary? What are some of your favorite AVGN episodes? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.